swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Locke. Over the middle, complete. That's Doyle. And a loose football. And the Bengals have recovered it. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Dalton gives to Bernard. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Second down, Dalton. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. They'll run it here with Bernard. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38.
Well, these two guys, Dalton and Green, they've hooked up on some big plays since coming in as rookies together back in 2011. But sometimes Andy can rely on them just a little bit too heavily. And this is a ball he probably shouldn't have thrown.
The Colts offense, Charles, heading out here. This is a franchise it's hard to know what to make of them. You know, if they can keep number 12 out there, keep him healthy, you think they're going to be okay. Without him, though, it's really a completely different team, isn't it?
It certainly is, and it feels like a complete makeover in order, and they're trying to get that done. But I remember when they drafted number 12, Andrew Luck, they were predicted to be a last-place team. Instead, they went to the playoffs right out of the gate, first few years of his career. So to me, it comes all the way back to him. His health, if he's able to play all 16 and at a high level, the culture automatically transformed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Sean Williams that time in on the stop. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Locke. Looking deep downfield. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, No flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. The Bengals heading back out there, and last year 7-9. So that meant back-to-back losing seasons for the first time since 2007-08. Now, they were able to knock off two teams late contending for the playoffs. They beat Detroit in Week 16, Baltimore Week 17, but I don't know that that's the silver lining Cincy fans are clinging to.
No, not at all. And when you just kind of feel around it.
That is hit, and Dalton lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their own 27. Here's the rookie from the U, Mark Walton. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. They'll run with Walton. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Now Walton. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. Passing, it's Dalton. He's got his man, Boyd. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And nothing but daylight ahead. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And it's now 14-0. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The first carry for the second-year man, Joe Mixon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. But you said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week 1, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Dalton, 1st and 10. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And I think the ball's out. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Look, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 46. They begin the drive with Hines. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. From the gun on 3rd down, Love. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately.
Now a hit and lost the football. It's out. But I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were, and so possession will remain with Indy.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They run with Hines. And some room to work. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 14 yards there on the pickup. And just like that, it's third down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Here's Locke. And he connects with Ebron. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. The Colts with a first red zone opportunity in the ball game. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Here's Mack on the toss. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Brought down by the cornerback, William Jackson.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Out of the gun, Locke. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
1:59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. Now Dalton. Green with a catch left side. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now a carry for Walton. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard in the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Here's Walton. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter Kevin Huber to punt it away. T.Y. Hilton deep for the Colts. Fielded just inside the 20. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
23 yards on the play. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him. Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab it, and that'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on it. That's got to feel good for Andrew Luck. His first touchdown pass since New Year's Day of 2017. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them. Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and a route is on here in this first half. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs. Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Dalton here from the gun. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Ross. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background. From midfield here, Dalton. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off here, the 32. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail. Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive. And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too. No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game. After the interception, it's Luck. Eluding the pressure right. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They run again with Hines. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They'll try the air now with Locke. Steps away to his left. Dancing to his left. And now running right through it. Locke showing he can be dangerous when he tucks and runs. He's able to pick up the first down.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
Here's Hines. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. On second down, here's Locke. Going for it all. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Preston Brown, the linebacker. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up over the 25 and the 26. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't pick the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner. Toughness in the pocket, strong and stout, but let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston, then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. William Jackson with a pick. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Throwing, Dalton, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Malik Hooker, and this one will be brought back to the 22. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And that will extend this big lead. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is, just what you said, you've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. So Dalton now. Throw left side complete. That's Boyd. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 13 yards there, offset some of the penalty yardage as it's 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And, boy, that one drops incomplete. But if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. Now the Bengals on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Andy Dalton. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. He'll look to set up his blockers. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly
That
clear
is
by the time we have to leave the booth.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
In my book, that's running the ball well but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. The Colts on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. A shotgun snap for Locke. And he's got Rodgers. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Buying time to his left. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. The first carry for the rookie, it's Jordan Wilkins. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. They run again with Wilkins. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Dalton. Green's got it over the middle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Dalton now to pass. On the screen, Bernard. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. 3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? He's going to loft one. Deep left side. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green 49 yards. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. Bullock out now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Love. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the gun, here's Love. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Carl Lawson in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Luck and the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. Here's Locke. Being chased out left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to... Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Oh, they hate that. Wipes out the big play.
And I know this is the NFL, so they would probably fine you for this type of a penalty. But when I was in college, you used to have to do up-downs for the number of yards that you cost a team in a big play.
And taken right at the 35. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take it? And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Throwing on 3rd and long. Dalton, now a desperation throw deep downfield. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now this is fielded in the end zone. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Looking deep for Hilton. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it, couldn't get it, and it's second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Throwing now, Luck. Looking deep for Hilton. And got his man complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And give them a gain of 37.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 31 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last two possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Luck on first down. Flush to his right. And he's got some space here. And they'll get this down to the 10. And, partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it, because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Indianapolis, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come to town. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew.